Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Minky and today I'm going to be answering some of the most frequently asked questions about how I came to China and how I got my CSC scholarship, because it is quite a lengthy process and people seem to be confused on how to go about it. So if you are one of those people, then this video is definitely for you. So stay tuned to find out more. The CSC scholarship is like one of the most prestigious scholarships in China, and it takes people from different parts of the world. Wherever you are eligible to apply for the scholarship. So do not doubt yourself and have faith. Now I should mention that it is very competitive to get the scholarship because, like I mentioned before, it is very prestigious and it comes with a whole lot of benefits. So what you have to do is put a lot of your work and effort into it, and I promise you, you'll definitely get it. And it is released every year, so be on the lookout. Every single year they release the scholarships and you can definitely apply. If you don't get it this year, definitely try again next year. And the following are some of the benefits of having a CSC scholarship. Every single month you get a monthly stipend, that is a monthly allowance to cover your living expenses, food and toiletry and clothing and all those things. It's a good amount of money that can help you survive in China. And one of the other benefits is accommodation. Your school accommodation is usually covered by the scholarship. They also cover your health insurance, which every school in China requires that a student should have in order to be able to study in their campus. And also they cover the school fees as well, like the tuition fees. You don't worry about anything. You don't have to worry about meeting deadlines for paying for your school fees. And now the kind of students that are usually admitted for CSC scholarships, like for you to stand a better chance to get the scholarship, is if you are a master's or a PhD student. But they also do accept bachelor students, but bachelor students usually have to study in Chinese language. So if you're doing bachelor's, you can still apply for the scholarship, but just know that when you come to China, you're gonna have to study in Chinese language. But then for masters and PhD students, they can study in whatever language they want. They can choose to study in English, they can choose to study in Chinese as well. Now, to apply for the scholarship, then for sure you have to apply online, and the website is studyinchina.csc.edu.cn. I repeat, studyinchina.csc.edu.cn. Now there are 3 different categories that you can choose when you get to the portal. So you can choose category A, category B or category C. But before I get into that, you will definitely have to create an account in order to access all this information, right? So what you have to do is simply go to the website, create an account, and they will send you a link to your email address that you provide, and then you have to activate that email address by clicking that particular link, and then go back to the CSC portal and start your application. Input your username and your password, and then the first thing that you'll see is some notifications to say to basically tell you like what CSC is about, what the scholarship is all about, and then it'll continue to give you options to choose from. It's going to be option A, and option A is if you are going to be applying in your embassy in your country, like in the Chinese embassy in your country. And then in this option, usually it's hard for you to choose a school for yourself, but if you want to choose a school for yourself, it's possible. Or sometimes they tend to give you like choose schools for you. And then we have a type B scholarship, which is a scholarship where you have to apply through a Chinese university that is affiliated with the CSC, and then there is a list of schools that are eligible for this, and they are listed on the CSC website as well. And then type C is usually hard to get. It's for people who are already in China and want to further their studies within China. So type A and type B are the most common scholarships to choose. Now, for you to be able to apply for the type A scholarship, these are the procedures. You wait for your embassy in your country, because different embassies in different countries have different dates that they release the scholarship at. So just pay attention to the news, or you can also call the embassy in your country to see when they will release the CSC scholarship. And then after you get that date, you go onto the CSC website and apply and provide all the requirements. And then after that, you have to print out that document that you apply with, print it out and submit it together with all the other required documents, all the medical reports, and submit it to your embassy. And then that's it, you have applied for your CSC scholarship. And then after some time, you will get a call to say come for an interview at the embassy. And then after the interview, that's when they will tell you the final results to see was it a success or not. And then type B is for people who already know which school they want to go to. Now, I highly recommend that you study and research about the school that you want to apply to before you even start the application procedure. There are different schools in China here, and they offer like different, I don't want to say like different quality of education, but like there are prestigious schools and like middle schools and low schools. So just be careful of the kind of schools that you choose to go to, and if possible, find out from any international student who already goes to that particular school and see what are the conditions, because different schools have different conditions that in different provinces. So you want to find out about the living expenses in that particular city and all that information. Now, after you choose the Type B scholarship, you are gonna have to go to the school that you want to go to their website and find out their agency number, because the CSC website requires that you input that particular school's agency number so that your application goes through to them. And after you find out that the school's agency number, you can usually find it from their website, or you can go to www.scholarshipfellow.com to find out which school, the school and the agency number. You can go to that website to find that out. And it should be noted that every school has its own agency number, so pay attention to that. After you have filled in your CSC website, you can always save it and come back later to edit your application again. So you don't have to rush anything. Take your time and do not reserve this to do it in the last minute, because last minute things never work out. So definitely do take your time. You know, this application gives you everything you want in terms of time. Like you can take your time to save the work that you have done today and then come back tomorrow and, you know, edit a few things. Or even if after you submit the application and you realize that, oh, I made a mistake, this is some information that I want to add to my application. As long as the CSC website has not closed, as long as they have not reached the deadline, you can always go back to re-edit your paper or whatever that you want to edit in that particular document and then resubmit. Now, it is very much important to note that even on the website, it will constantly remind you that once you withdraw your application, you have not resubmitted it until you resubmit the paper that you have edited. I hope that I'm clear. Like once you go back to the website and withdraw and edit, you don't just leave it like that. You have to resubmit, because once you withdraw it, the system considers it as this person has withdrawn their application, so did not want to apply for this. So in order to not to go through that situation, you have to resubmit your application. It's just a button. You click on that button and resubmit your new application with your saved changes, and then that's it. You have your application ready. Like I mentioned before, guys, the CSC website is very much user friendly. It's easy to understand, and the fact that you can choose which language you are comfortable with. They have 2 language options. It's in English and Chinese. So if you're fluent in Chinese, if you have HSK and or you have somebody who can help you in Chinese, then you can apply on the portal using the Chinese language. Or if you are from an English speaking country, or if you prefer to use English, if you're more comfortable with using English, then definitely apply in the English language. It's very much user friendly. Like if you haven't filled in anything in the portal, a notification will keep on popping up on top to say this is a field that you have to fill in. So don't be afraid. Like take your time, go through the application, and whenever there is a mistake, if you didn't fill in any box, it will definitely give you a notification to remind you to fill in that important piece of information. Now, it's also important to note that after applying on the CSC website, it doesn't mean that that's it. You are not done yet. You still have to go to the school that you want to apply to, because different schools have different procedures basically. So you go to the school that you want to, go to their website and find out what are their requirements for applicants who want to apply to their school through the CSC scholarship. And once you found that out, you also have to follow those guidelines and requirements, and also submit the documents as well. Now, schools are different. For example, the school that I go to requires that you apply on the CSC website, print the CSC application, and you note down the CSC application number, which comes out for every single applicant. There is always an application number from the CSC document that you apply. Okay, and then my school requires that you also go to their own website as well to fill in their own online application form. And then on that online application form, you have to fill in your CSC application number. And there's also an option that will ask you who is your sponsor. Are you self-sponsored, or are you under the school scholarship, or are you sponsored by your country's government, or are you under the CSC scholarship? So you choose between all those options, and obviously if you want to apply for CSC, you're going to choose CSC scholarship. Now, like I mentioned before, schools are different. I'm going to keep on emphasizing this. Just because you've once applied to a certain school and that those were their requirements doesn't mean that will also apply to the next school. Or if you know somebody who has applied to a particular school, doesn't mean that those same rules will apply to the school that you want to apply to. So it's always best to get the information for yourself and follow the information as it is stated. Now, for me, my school requires that you print out the online application form from their website and take it together with your CSC website documents. Take them put them together, put them in an envelope, and send it to the international students office. Now, how do you do that? If you know somebody in China, you can ask that person to submit the documents for you. You can email them to them, and then they can just simply submit them for you. Or if you're outside the country, there is DHL and FedEx. Trust me, your documents will arrive on time and they will definitely be delivered. So all you have to do is to make sure you follow each of the school's requirements. Now, not every school will require you to do this, but if your school requires you to do this, then make sure that you do submit your application on time so that you do not miss the deadline. So this does not apply to all schools and all applications. Some schools will actually just require you to fill in your information in the website, in the CSC website, and that's it. Some schools will require you to put in extra work and do some extra procedures on the side. Whichever that they require from you, you have to make sure that you fulfill them so that your application is actually valid. Now, what do you need to apply on the CSC website? These are the documents that you need in order to apply for the CSC scholarship. So for this, I'm going to look down on my notes because I don't want to leave anything out. I want every one of you watching this video to, try your luck and come to China, have a wonderful experience. So these are the documents that you need. It's number one, you need notarized school certificate. High school, if you're applying for your bachelor or degree, master's and PhD, you have to provide certificates from your university if you have done your degree, and also for your master's. All those certificates have to be notarized. They have to be certified. And we also need notarized transcripts. Latest degree means that basically if you're going to apply for masters, you have to provide your bachelor's transcript. If you're going to apply for PhD, you're going to have to provide your master's transcript. And also you also need 2 recommendation letters. You need these 2 recommendation letters, and you need to have a medical report. Note this medical report, there's a specific form from the CSC website. You can download this from the Chinese embassy website in your country, or you can download it from the CSC website as well. It's a specific medical form that has to be provided, and this medical form has to be stamped by the medical officer attending to you, and they have to put that stamp and signature on the front page, so don't forget that. This medical report is very important, guys. Don't just take any medical report. Like, there are different medical reports, like for tourist visas or for any other type of visas that people get when they want to come to China, but this one is very specific to people who want to study in China. So pay attention to that. Usually the embassy doesn't have them, but you can download it from the embassy's website. The other document that you need is your study plan. In your study plan, put in work, put in effort in your study plan, and let me know in the comment section below if you want another video that basically describes what to put in your study plan and what kind of information is required for you to have a good study plan. And the other thing that you need is the English proficiency certificate, if not from an English speaking country. If you're from a French speaking country, Portuguese speaking country, a Spanish speaking country, then you definitely have to have the certificate. But if you are from an English speaking country and your whole education history is in English, if previously you have studied in English, you do not need to have this English proficiency certificate. Those certificates are TOEFL, all those different certificates that are available to if you want to further your studies in, like if you want to study in the English language. Those are the certificates that you need to provide. And you also need to have a valid passport. Guys, check the dates on your passports. If you apply with a passport that's about to expire, then you're gonna have trouble. So do check the validity of your passport. And also you need to have a clearance certificate from any authority in your country. If, for me in my country, we use the police to get the clearance certificate to basically say that this person has not committed any crime in the country, this person doesn't have any pending legal issues. So you do need to have that clearance certificate, and then you have to submit all those documents online. And another thing, you have to have like a passport visa photo that has specific measurements. I will put that in the description box below, and all the links that are important for this application, I'll link them in the description box below. Now guys, once you have submitted all those documents, then you are done. You are done. Usually, even if you have to apply in the school's website, these are the very same documents that they'll ask from you. So you're gonna have to re-upload them, resubmit them into the school website. So if you have all those documents, you can definitely use them on the CSC website and the school website if the school requires you to fill in their own online application form as well. So make sure that you get all those documents. This is the official CSC website, and then you're going to choose the English option if you don't understand Chinese. And then right here you're going to put your email address that you have access to all the time, because if you get approved, this is the email address that they're going to send the approval to. And then here you're gonna have to come up with a password, but because I already have an account, I'm gonna put in my details, and then it will take me to the next page. Once you have logged in successfully, this is the first thing that you're gonna see on the application portal. It's just basically giving you instructions and what to look out for. It's just explaining to you what the CSC scholarship is all about and all the different types of scholarships that are available. There's type A, type B, and type C. Then you're gonna go on to click onto this tab that says application online to like officially start your application process. And then right here you're gonna see these tabs that are the main things that you have to fill out, and make sure that each and every detail that you provide here is correct and accurate. So I'm gonna start with my personal information. That's when you're gonna go and fill in all the information. It might look like it's a long process, but just take your time, fill it in, submit. And then there's also an option for education and employment history. You also have to fill that in, and then it says other contacts. Basically every single piece of information that you need to fill out, just make sure that you do that, and then upload all the other documents that are necessary to process your application. And then if there's any spot that you left where you didn't fill in correctly, or you left an open space, or you didn't upload a particular document, the website will constantly remind you to do to go back and properly fill out the form until you click on submit, and then it will give you an option to download that application form that you're going to use to submit to school. And now results usually come out in June or July, depending on where you are, and they come through email. So provide your valid email address and constantly check your email to see if you have successfully been accepted or not. So these results come through email, and you can say, yes, I accept the scholarship, and they have some forms that you have to fill in to prove that you have accepted the scholarship. Or if you applied through Type A, which is through the embassy, they're gonna basically say, they're gonna send you an email, or sometimes they even call you to say, you know, this is the time for the interview, or even after the interview they can call you to say, oh, congratulations, you successfully made it to study in China, or they just send you an email. So either way, just check. There's nothing wrong with checking. And also, if you applied through the embassy, call and check how far the results are. Don't be that annoying person that will call every second. But if you haven't heard from them for a while, then there's nothing wrong with calling and asking in a friendly way, of course. So there you have it, guys. Those are all the requirements that you need in order to have a successful CSC application. And for those of you hopefuls out there who are looking into study in China, there are different scholarships that are available for you to study. CSC is not the only one. There are other good scholarships as well that you can have in order to study in this beautiful country. Guys, we have come to the end of this video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, or if you've learned anything, or if it was helpful to you. And also share it with your loved ones who want to apply to China or who are looking to study abroad. Share this information with them and refer them to this video, because I would like to help anybody out who needs further assistance. And if you have any questions about your applications, please comment down below and I will definitely get back to you and reply you. I'll also leave my email in the description box so that you guys can further your questions if you have any questions about studying in China or getting a scholarship, or even just any other general questions about being in China. And also I will leave my Instagram link as well, Life with Minky 94. If you guys have any more further questions and you require a quick response, I'm always on Instagram, so definitely I will get back to you as soon as I get your message. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video.